Hi friends, welcome back to Ready Player Us. I'm Kristen, and today I am delighted to finally bring you a Victorian version of The Sims 4. Now, I haven't got this fully worked out yet because The Sims 4 is not exactly a game that is easily customizable for historical gameplay, thanks to a lot of the scenery that includes like billboards and power lines and street lamps and stuff that is really hard to figure out how to mod away. At least it is for me. So you guys are probably going to be learning along with me. Instead of doing like a neighborhood challenge like I've done in The Sims 2, we're actually just going to start with a legacy while we try and figure out the ropes. So here we have a family that I just created. This is Eloise Browning. Yeah, chose a very Victorian name. And I finally feel like I have enough custom content to actually do this, at least with one family. It's probably going to take a while to build up those CC files, but that's okay. And here are her traits, and then this is her husband, James Browning. And I've had a little bit more trouble finding good Victorian CC for men, which honestly shouldn't surprise any of you, given that's how most Sims custom content seems to be. But let's dive right into it. I already went ahead and built the house, so we don't have to take time on that. It's just a little cottage, although granted a little bit fancier than my Sims 2 cottages that we start out with. And most of the rooms are empty, so we have some space to grow. As you can see, there's not a lot of furniture here, but that's fine. So basically what we're going to do is start out with growing plants to sell. I haven't fully figured out what to do for careers for this, whether or not I want to, I don't know, create some more lower class careers like I did in The Sims 2, but I haven't figured out that level of modding for The Sims 4 yet. So we're just going to start with this, where we are having them essentially live off of the land. Or my vision for the narrative here is really this family that kind of came from upper class and recently moved to a new area. I don't know if their family history comes from some level of disgrace and they kind of lost everything, because looking at them, they don't exactly look like proper peasants. Which is also why I was kind of fine with having them start out in a slightly nicer home. But that's okay. So we're just gonna start off right off the bat trying for babies at this point, because they do kind of have this space for it. Oh, is she doing push-ups right after? That's interesting. All right, Eloise. And as you can see, there's really not a lot to do to entertain them. We have this little pile of books that we can use. We couldn't even really afford a real bookshelf. So I'm glad that at least in The Sims 4 they just have like the little book piles you can use instead. But they'll honestly spend most of their time sitting in front of the fireplace and reading books. And that really does sound kind of like an enjoyable existence, especially at night. I mean, look at this light and ambiance. I'm just going to apologize now for how often I talk about the lighting in this game. So I recently got a new computer, and I used to have a Mac, and so as you can imagine, The Sims barely ran on it, especially when you have a lot of mods. And so now I actually get all of those pretty lightings that you can get at like high quality, and I will point them out a lot. So I don't know if any of you guys started off your Sims playing with like writing out your legacies. So on like the Sims forum. So I used bullprop.net. It's still running. There aren't a lot of people on it. Eloise was actually a legacy sim from one of my legacies that I had been posting on the Bullprop forums. It is still there. You can find it. I don't totally recommend it. I only got through like one generation and then got kind of frustrated with it. But she's actually the daughter of Akira, so. And for this game, I'm going to let them sell things out of their inventories directly. Ideally in the future, I would like them to not do that, but All right, so we have our first pregnancy of the Victorian challenge. Yay, pretty early on. And the plants are going well. At least I think. These look kind of dead, but I know they're not. I think it's just seasons. Oh, that's weird. It already looks like she's having some kind of like labor cramping. I don't think I have miscarriages in The Sims 4. I don't think I have a mod for that. Alright, so we'll have James occupy his time fishing while Eloise really focuses on the garden. And like my Victorian Sims 2 challenge, we have some restrictions here, mostly about technology. There's not really a whole lot I can do about the cell phones. Phones are just kind of necessary in the Sims game if you want your Sims to have any kind of social experience. Although, I don't know if it really matters because friendships in The Sims 4 barely function anyways. But aside from the phones, that's really kind of all we allow here. I think I might have a mod downloaded for a typewriter instead of a computer, but it'll probably be a while until we can afford that, so we won't worry about that now. I'm making sure all of the lights are candles instead of actual electricity. I thought about just putting the house off the grid. What is wrong with her? Oh, she's a stomach bug. It's cholera. It's probably not cholera. That is not possible. Consumption chic. Okay, actually, like, consumption is a later stage of tuberculosis, which she doesn't have either. So we're just gonna call her cholera for fun. Dysentery is also... None of this is fun. Yeah. Okay, working out in the bathroom. Interesting choice, James. But look at the lighting from these windows. Okay. I realized I didn't put a sink in the kitchen, so we're gonna fix that. And thankfully there is a lemon tree behind our house here, so we can collect some lemons and actually start adding some more trees to our garden. Love it when they're free. Oh wow, she already has like an actual bump. That was so fast. It's only like Tuesday. Oh, look at this lighting. I will never get over the lighting in this game now that I actually have good enough graphics that it is visible and functional. And here we are enjoying a meal together and some evening reading by the fire. I do hope that soon we can sell enough fish and plants to actually get an easel or maybe a real bookshelf. Wow, she already looks so pregnant. I'm really shocked by this, but I'm also like used to playing The Sims 2 where it's just like the tiniest bump and it doesn't happen very gradually. But alright, our garden is going swimmingly. She seems to be enjoying the garden, which is great. And it looks like James is starting to do okay with the fishing as well. We're gonna sell some of these plants. Can maybe almost afford something. I swear every time I zoom in, this bump is bigger. It has to be twins, right? Like, is that a mechanism in the game? I don't know. I mean, that's statistically improbable. First pregnancy in, so we're not going to worry about it. I don't think we can afford that at the moment anyway. But yeah, you'll notice I can actually do this with a lot of like actual game material as opposed to custom content. I really don't have a lot of furniture custom content for the Victorian Sims yet. Like this wallpaper is CC, but other than that, I mean, as you can see, like the fridge and the stove and everything seems to be working fine. I did download some candle mods, although I think now they actually added candles into the game. Oh dear, that is the look of pregnancy. Yeah, she's struggling. Yeah, but I recorded this before I got Eco Living or Eco Lifestyle, and so I think now we can actually just use like game mechanics to create our own candles instead of the candle crafting mod. It's so fun how they just keep creating like actual stuff packs that we've already got from mods. Thanks, EA. Yeah, so I decided that Windenburg would probably be the best place to start a Victorian Legacy challenge. I'm going through and I'm kind of like updating and changing around the style and Victorianizing some of the local cafes and libraries and stuff like that. But that's going to take a while. I'm not really a builder, and so building stuff in this game just gives me an immediate headache. So that's going to take a while, and we'll get there, but I'm hoping eventually I will have all of Windenburg Victorianized. So that way we can just kind of like keep everything localized to the game. As to the other neighborhoods, I have absolutely no idea what to do. Like Brightchester is probably gonna work, but honestly nothing else. All right, so we finally sold enough stuff. We can add a few things to our very barren living room. We now have an actual couch instead of a bench, which is kind of nice. And then an end table with a candle and this little stool in front of the fireplace. But most importantly, now we have an easel so we can actually start making some money. Thank goodness, because as great as plants are, they take a while. All right, already in labor. It's going so fast. Okay. So, yeah, we don't really want to pay for the bassinet, so we're just going to let her go through labor, and the game will gift us a bassinet. Unfortunately, that means labor takes a long time in game. I mean, it doesn't. It's like, what, an hour or two? It's not really that bad. But yeah, can you imagine this? Like actively being in labor and just like sitting by the fireplace and reading. I don't feel like I would be capable of that. Yeah, that looks rough. Where is James? Okay, he needs to come back from fishing. At least it's raining outside. It's kind of like a nice ambiance to everything. So James is back. Eloise is still in labor. Don't know where she went, but James is back by the fireplace also reading. I guess this like stool is more comfortable than the couch, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's probably pretty warm. Oh, Eloise is napping. She is napping through labor. That's impressive. Okay, there we go, finally. All right, we got one baby, and let's name him something quintessentially Victorian, like Theodore. We'll go with that. And Theodore will be our heir. Oh, okay. It was twins. Good. We can afford this. Oh my god. Okay, triplets. Honestly, didn't even realize that was a thing in Sims 4. Okay. Helena. Alright. Yeah, that'll be fun. At least babies are useless. Oh my goodness. Look at her, right after giving birth, checking herself out in the mirror. That is such a level of self-confidence that I think we can all aspire to. Alright, so we will leave it there. Thank you guys for sticking it out with the first episode of The Sims 4 Victorian Legacy Challenge. Hopefully we'll start to figure this out more as we go, and I can actually like start implementing my usual spreadsheets with the games when it comes to like social class and arranged marriages and fun stuff like that. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.